DLS Wave, and we are back
again. Yeah, we've been away for quite some time now.
Yeah, because you had a stroke and we had to take care of you at the hospital. That's how old my man is, 95 years old. So all good, we're back. Regardless, we're back. Same old problem, same old Ghana issues. But today we're gonna keep it pretty short, pretty simple, not quite as aggressive as my man always does. Today we're all gonna keep calm. Right?
Yeah.
The National Service Scheme in Ghana. Interesting, as usual. The problem is I really get a bit, it's like...
tired?
Not tired, it's like deja vu-ish. It's like because we've been hearing and seeing this over the years. It's nothing really new. But we all talk about it as if, surprise, surprise. This is like something really new. Yeah. That is kind of like, bugging the country or the system in general, because ghost names have been there since as far back as I can remember. But the thing is, this time 140,000 people have been listed in the NSS, and payments are being made without any accountability, right? Pretty much, because it's like people are in charge of these departments. So how can you be paying out monies that literally do not have, what's the word I'm looking for?
Postings, like...
Yeah, postings or do not even exist in existence. Paying to ghosts. But the crazy part is you're not paying to ghosts because these monies are being withdrawn from the account. So how is there nobody got the alarm or nobody sounded the alarm and it's just coming out now?
Man, our level of corruption, even daylight cannot match.
Daylight cannot shine or
I'm telling you,
penetrate that sort of darkness.
They expose it.
It is so dark that you kind of ask yourself, so your intention for leading a country or trying to help a country
or being government,
or being government or its citizens, citizens is to just steal and loot and use their own people, use like weird names, ages to steal from the people you claim you want to help. It's madness.
But I don't think the people doing that have ever claimed they want to help the country, though. Because I look at it from this angle, right? It's like I said earlier, right? Franz Kafka, he said the same thing. One idiot is an idiot. Two idiots, two idiots. 10,000 idiots, that's a political party. Right? Yeah. So if you get into a space like that and everybody around you is doing the same thing, what are the chances of you not pretty much succumbing to that kind of, greed?
Yeah, there's something called acculturation, where if you belong to a certain group, the strongest influence will have a strong impact
will rub on you.
Yes, on the weaker ones, which is exactly what you're saying. If you are the only one who doesn't want to engage in it, you will come out poor. So that's the mentality. People get into politics or get political appointments and they come with a good mind to do the job. But then they get in and they realize that their colleagues are making it easily and not being punished, going away out of power with impunity. So what do? They fall in line, like they say in the army, fall in line. And so I think that it's not the case where everyone is naturally corrupt. I think that the environment you find yourself in, influences you. And there's just, we can talk about standing your guns and being moral about it, but at the end of the day, you're going to go down. So I think it's the whole system that needs to be taken down. And until we have systems that punish people who have been caught to be engaged in these acts, it will never change.
So let's go with system that punishes, right? That system needs a leader, right?
Yeah.
That leader will come from or should come from a political party, right? Because we are part like a democratic state where we have to vote for a particular political party.
Yeah.
So that is why I use the word. Those parties campaign on our emotions, things we are yearning for as a country. Right?
Yeah.
We want this one solved. We want this one solved. So they come in. Everybody that has been put in a position, they were put there because that leader felt that that person, actually that person has the best idea to lead,
right,
and get things done. That is why I said earlier, they come in to help us. At the end of the day, you, the leader, you've appointed him, and he's been messing up. There's been news. There's deals going on here and there and there. I do get it. Society do change people. Society definitely will have effect on you. So wherever, any group you find yourself, no matter how moral you try to be, you would definitely be affected by people's action, whether good or bad, right? But the leader in that group, that is why it's called a leader. You lead by calling the people to book. Say, hey, I know this is going on. I know you, the character, but what I'm seeing, I don't like, because it will tarnish my governance. Yeah. Yes. So, look, I pick you here, take you to a different, or just take you home, get you retired quickly, right? And that is the work of a leader. But these people that have been mentioned, one of them, I think before he was a sports minister, one of the guys among the 4 or 5 people that have been alleged of doing that kind of deals. And it was the same rumors that was going on at Accra Sports Stadium and other sports stadiums. So I put the blame on the leader. And that has been our problem. We have a huge leadership problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, can we put everything on leadership though? Because I feel like sometimes we do not really put the blame where it's supposed to be. Is it the department in charge, or is it about leadership?
I think.
We're talking about the NSA, right? The National Service Authority.
Right.
So, did they take the blame for this, or this also goes back to the presidency?
Before you answer,
Yeah.
there was this other guy, I've forgotten the name. I don't want to mention somebody's name, but he was in Accra, and they felt, according to him, they posted him, took his position, they posted him to somewhere north, right? He was there for some years, and then around November, December, they brought him back to somewhere in Accra. Like a lower, like they put you somewhere, your influence will be low, because those people are like the whistle blowers and stuff.
Yeah.
So this, like your question, back to your question, yes, in every sector they put you, or every ministry, unless you are the main minister, you work under somebody, and that somebody should have the authority to say your work is not good enough. So I'm going to change you. So back to leadership, the president appoints somebody to appoint somebody. So if I appointed you and you're not doing your work, mine is to call you to book or fire you and get somebody that can make sure you are working properly. And if that person cannot get you work, I'll sack both of you. That is leadership. You should be strong, because the moment you show a sign of weakness, you're gone.
Yeah. I mean, let me take it from here. So, Leah, we can blame both the institutions and the presidents, but I think that our constitution also gives the president too much power to appoint too many people. Director of this, Ghana Ports and Harbors, director of this, Ghana Petroleum, this is. And mind you, before most of the people that the president appoints are people who helped him or her to get into power. So when you come into power, you have to, by some sort of magical whatever, you have to appoint such people into positions.
Yeah.
And so when you were down there, you were trying to come up. They know everything you did. They knew all the secrets you were. So one big problem why the presidents are not able to crack the whip is because the people who help them to gain power are the people he has to reward with these positions. And they know all your secrets. They know everything about you. And so if you touch them, they are also afraid that they will be exposed in a certain way. That's one thing. Because and also, if the president doesn't have the power and these people are promoted from within the institution, it's just like recently with one of the appointments, I think the births and deaths registry, the president appointed a boss, I don't know what the designation is, but the people went on strike and they said they didn't want him and he had to change the person. So if these people rise through the ranks, I don't think we'll be having these problems because the person has served so many years and they've gained all the experience and they are now at the top, so they will know how to run the institution. But when you have somebody working for a political party and the president comes into power and has the power to appoint such a person to man a certain government agency or institution, that's where the problem comes in. Square pegs in round holes. The person doesn't really know the sector they are going into. So they'll be making decisions left, right, center that don't really conform to the improvement of the institution they are running. And so if they want to do anything shady, it's easy because they don't really know and they don't really care. They don't really care about the portfolio they have and what they should be doing.
And gradually, I think our sectors, ministries, and they gradually is turning into political sectors. You understand what I mean?
My party is in power.
My party is in power. My party is in power. And gradually, you either toe a certain line or you be called, oh, you are from this party or you are from this party. So let's say you, like you mentioned, you work so hard in that department, it is your time to be promoted. But this party changes and they feel like, oh, you were working so hard under this party, so you are aligned with this party. So instead of promoting you to do the job, because you know the work,
they transfer you somewhere else. So they can replace you with someone they like.
And that leads to problems like this one.
Yeah, but I really do think it's more about the system. Like we always talk about systems, right? Because now they put up like, I think there's a new metric app, they call it, that is supposed to pretty much filter all these things down and be able to flag people who are presumably or like, assumed to be fake. So the question is, this is not new. So why does it take ages, like decades, for such a thing to be implemented?
But you know what's interesting? In the video where the man was explaining how the ghost names got on the payroll, he mentioned that they have a system where if you don't have, with the introduction of the Ghana card, if you didn't have a Ghana card, there was no way you could enroll ananybody.
So that was since when?
I don't know since when, but let's assume.
From what I'm seeing here, they're saying, I think, since 2021, 2022.
And then Ghana card was already in existence at that time. So if he was also baffled, he was like, the only way anyone could be enrolled on the system as a student, he said the universities or tertiary institutions have to send a list of the students who have graduated and their index numbers or student numbers. And then the students, when they enroll, they must provide their Ghana card. So he was even baffled. How do we able to get these other ghost names on the system?
So this is how,
without a Ghana card, the system wouldn't allow you to register anyone.
This is how.
No matter what, like you just mentioned, they've created some sort of a system, right? No matter what system you have, people still find a way to be the system.
But you know why the ghost names came in easily? It was because the system allowed people who have not had their national service to come back and say, okay, I went to this school, these are my documents, I didn't do it, I'm ready to do it. And that opened the way. For me, actually, what surprises me, it's not a surprise. I'm okay. We know, I'm not surprised. Like, okay, it's Ghana. This is not the first time. This is not the first time we are talking about ghost names, right? So the reason why they came in easily was, okay, I'm back, I want to do my service. And a 90-year-old, 80-year-old, and they are using not the Ghana card. And this is where I was like, really? They are using like a fire service, fire service personnel, using a fire service personnel card. And those cards are fake though, but that is a system, right? And every year the number kept increasing.
Yeah, but this is my problem right now. If every year the number kept increasing, right? Think about it this way. All right, let's say we're going to have elections in Ghana. Ghana has a population of, let's say, 30 million people, right? I was about to say dollars, money on my mind. 30 million people. And then after the collation, right, we're saying we had 40 million votes. Would that make sense to anybody?
Yeah, I think that's because some.
No, I'm using that analogy because if you think about it, if the NSA know, if they do know how many teachers they've posted, then they would understand that it's easy to kind of know that, okay, why are we paying 100 teachers when we've only posted 90?
Right.
You see,
so it looks like it's a very easy thing to trace. So I do not really understand why it's gone on for so long.
There's a huge flaw in the system already, because they should be able to at least know the number of students that graduated from each university.
No, they should be. They know.
The system should be there. It should be open.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yes, and this is where people can choose to do their national service based on where they were transferred to. Some people, they cannot travel because of various reasons. But if you have a data that tells you, like you said, 10 million for this year
have been posted,
or graduated, and maybe about 8 million have been posted. This one, it should be able.
So when you're making payments, right?
Yes, you're paying.
So why are you paying to 10 million when you know you posted 8 million?
This is also why what Cheddar was saying during the election campaign is important. When he was talking about building a data center, people didn't understand these things. You build a data center where every state institution, as long as you operate under law in Ghana, all your information is collected there. So every university student is enrolled there. If a student passes away, the university deletes the name from the system. If they enroll a new student halfway during the term, so you have current data all the time. Then a bank can access it and say, okay, NSA has said, government has sent us authorization to pay this amount of money from government coffers to national service. How many? We just go into the system, pull out how many students graduated from this tertiary institutions this year. 50,000. Okay, how much money is government saying we should pay? The list is 50,000. This is right. But once you pull that data that says that the university said altogether 80,000 students graduated from tertiary institutions this year in Ghana, and then the government institution brings a list that gives 100,000 figure, right there and then you know there's a problem. Yes. So even the bank can detect it.
Yes.
But the bank has no data.
But this is what I'm saying. Are we trying to say they did not know these problems existed?
They do, man.
And are there not people who are directly linked to the problem?
The people who are linked are also connected to the corruption.
But that's what I'm saying.
Who watches the watchman?
Exactly, like Kent Pon said, who watches the watchman?
Right.
Again, moving on. What happens?
Nothing.
What happens after that?
Now we talk.
Now it's been discovered, right?
No, we will talk a lot.
That's what I'm saying. As usual, we always got to go to that point. It's like, okay, it's been discovered. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. What happens?
I tell you why nothing will happen.
Just like the William Mays, all these scandals that we go through.
I'm coming because already the opposition would turn it like a witch hunt, and they'll be, why you and. This is not me shading this current government, but it happens all the time. Every 4 years, every 8 years, depending on how government was changed. Every 8 years, something like this will happen, and then the opposition will go like, because this, then it will turn, and within 3-4 months, something new will come up. Every 4 months, 3 months, and then we'll end up 8 years, nothing has actually happened.
And they're walking about free.
So nothing will happen. It shock you?
No, I'm just thinking about something because, there is a saying, right? When your enemy is making a mistake, do not interrupt them. So it's almost like the system in Ghana. It's like when the opposition even sees something and there's a way to kind of curtail it, like you say, in a non-political way, right? They have to make it political.
Yeah.
Vice versa, they come in power, right? The same thing. But it's like a cycle. They all keep making the same mistakes and nobody keeps correcting it. Because this thing keeps going on, nobody gets punished. Because the opposition is also going to feel like when we come and we do stuff, right? If we punish these guys right now, when they come in and we mess up, they're going to punish us too.
We're going to get
so it's like they do not check each other. It's all like
love for country is gone. And if we all accept it, the better. Love for country, it's gone.
I think
done.
If you
because the moment already, look at ex-finance minister. Look at this issue that came up. You have people defending it, but we were in the system for the past 8 years, and we were complaining already how hard things are. People are dying because of bad decisions and stuff. Yeah. Now they are going after just for him to come and answer simple questions. Ghanaians are like, oh, why are you chanting somebody who is sick? He had the opportunity to help build better hospitals in our country, but he decided not to put the money rather in his pocket. We know, it's obvious, everything is there. This is pure corruption. But hey, I'm from that party, that political party. Why are you witch hunting our people?
But the person who is complaining that you are witch hunting, if you are sick, can you take a flight to the US for medical care like the former finance? You can't. But you are still sitting down defending the guy. If you are saying he's not culpable, or he's not how do you call it? He's not guilty of anything. Fine, let him come and defend himself. I mean, being in the US is not fine. You can get Interpol to bring him down, or his doctors can. I mean, the guy is not on a sick bed. If he was on a sick bed, we would have heard about it. I'm not saying that if someone is going for medical treatment, whatever, we should be pulling. But I mean, he should give a response and say, okay, I'm coming on this day or something like that. But just to say that indefinitely, I don't know when I'm coming, that's really like unfair to the Ghanaian people.
There's this thing that really irks me so bad, yeah. They know what they've done, and then when it comes out, you get this so-called lawyers that think, due process, and you have to use the course of the law, and you have to use. But when these people are making all these bad decisions, we don't find them talking.
I repeat, when your enemy is making a mistake, do not interrupt them. That's the policy in Ghana. I feel like, because it's like, you kind of know what your government also does, right? It's like, if the current government is messing up, you just blow it out and then they let it die down, because you know how the game is played, right? So they just, think about it. The, what do you call it? The diplomatic passport issue, where did it go? The Galamsey issue, where did that go? People are still paying what you call the COVID levy. Since when did COVID leave the system? So there are a lot of issues that I feel like that's what we do. We just do not interrupt each other, because we know when we come to power, right, we're also going to do the same thing, and we don't want you guys to persecute us for it. So we just watch you do the same thing that we know we're going to come do. So just like you say, love for country is gone. So it's just politics left.
Yeah. And that is why every
come in, cause your mess, sprinkle a little bit of development. People can feel like, okay, we're doing something.
We can hang on. Yeah.
So it is what it is. But then that's what I'm saying. If it comes out and it's all so loud, it's like people are so like,
why are you surprised about?
Yeah, this is not. It should not even be news.
No, because look at those people that were put in those positions. They sorry to say, but they were nobodies. Right, they were just salary and some small deals here and there. They were getting some small money. But if you look carefully at their lifestyle, right, the lady among them, I saw a video of her party, her birthday party. I'm telling you, she
was slaying it.
I'm telling you, and you ask yourself, okay, he works in government. How much do government pay people?
I mean, we've seen in China here where some leaders had some $40,000 watches during state meetings, and they were sanctioned, they were queried. Because your salary anywhere in the world, your salary as a government worker doesn't afford you some of those things. So if you have those things, you should be questioned. Are you doing some business on the side? Can you verify? Okay, that's fine. You are free. But if you can't verify that you're doing something extra that gives you the ability to buy a G-Wagon, as a minister of state, your salary cannot afford you that money. If you have 2 or 3 kids, how are you getting the money? We don't go into all these things. And I always go back to say that it's because we give the president the power to appoint all these people. You can even call it, Mr. President, I beg you, this one there. And he can let sleeping dogs lie.
What happened to that lady who...
the 45,000?
Cecilia Dapa. What happened?
Oh, she's in the US chilling.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's not in the country.
That's what I'm saying. This is not a country that you can you can say it's democratic in its doings or its dealings. Everything is, it's all about, like you said, whom you know, right? That's how the country.
And that's what I was also saying last time, that if a president comes in, it should be put in our constitution that 6 months before election, all embassies should be served letters. Government appointees are not allowed to get visas.
Yes.
And once the government, the election is finished, even before handover, all passports, ordinary or whatever, of all appointees should be seized for 6 months. You stay in the country until we do.
They are not allowed to travel.
You're not allowed to go anywhere.
Yes, as
Look
long
at them.
as you've served in public office.
Yes,
you are not allowed to travel.
Look at these people. They once they lose election, they start running helter skelter. Because they know they've saved money abroad and they're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
When things calm down, we'll come back.
Yeah.
But for now, let's go and cool it off.
Yeah.
I mean,
in conclusion, for me, it always comes back to, like, you know, the end justifies the means. All these noise and all these brouhaha going on, I don't really get the point. Because when we have all these, like, NSA making statement, like 14,000 ghost names, we get it. But somebody was responsible for inputting that data into the system. So that's where you got to start your investigation. Because if you come up with the news, we get it. Okay, it's happened. But the point is, even if you put measures in place like the Metric app to filter and check it, there are still people behind these things.
And somebody also paid.
But that's what I'm saying.
Those who
but that information
Oh,
never comes to light. It's always just a story. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's just a story. That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a trend in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you make, it's like anything else. Ghana, I'm saying it's like the story itself comes out, but people behind the problem are never revealed or are never, you know, called to task. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I mean, like I say, you reap what you sow. So this is what we reap. Are we sowing as a country? This is what we're gonna keep reaping. There is not gonna be anything that, you know, smells of real change. You know, so. Anyways, anything to add, or we just give it again, throw in the towel and just move on?
I would just say that I think that so far the current president, the way he started with things, it seems a bit slow, but on another side, it kind of seems like he's a little bit serious. We just hope to see it ends in that level of seriousness, because I remember President Akufo-Addo said the same things. If you're coming into my government to make money, then stay in the private sector, blah, blah, blah. At the end, what did we see? He didn't even prosecute a single member of his. I'm not saying prosecute, because you cannot be prosecuted if you are not accused or charged. But there were people making statements and telling him about certain government appointees, and he didn't even, in the public eye, he didn't even query anyone or anything like that. President Mahama is saying the same thing. Yesterday, he went to declare his assets, and he's giving an ultimatum till the end of March, I think, or so, for every one of his appointees to declare the assets or face being fired. They can declare the assets, yes, but that one, there's also a problem, because the Constitution says they have to seal it in an envelope, and the Attorney General has no power to open it until they leave in office, which is wrong. They should publish it for everyone to know, and then at the end of the tenure, we do an investigation and they publish all or people can even come up and say, oh, he has this, he has that. That's how we can check it.
But before
right from the Constitution, there's corruption within the Constitution itself. Why are you concealing it? Make it public so we know this guy has one house in East Legon, one in Keta. Then we know that's what he has. When he's leaving office, do the math. His salary was 15,000 Ghana cedis. Even if he didn't feed his family for 4 years, could he have afforded another house in East Legon? That's how we do things. But if we conceal it and 4 years later we come and say, oh, he built an extra house, how are you going to tell? He can tell you that he used his salary.
And for me, coming up with all your assets and stuff should be done during the interview.
The vetting.
The vettings.
Right.
Those things should have, that is where, because it's public, right? You come, you answer, it's public. We all see, we all know, okay, he has this, he has that, okay, cool. Let him go do his work. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are bushed.
Everybody vented out there. Everybody's done venting their frustrations.
It's just
the end justifies me. So let's wait.
Some of the things you cannot see on camera.
All right, let's wrap it up. This is why we always kind of go back to Cheddar, right? Because for me, I feel like President Mahama, he's been president before, and I feel like he's an honorable man. You can't really beat him down. I mean, he's done his part for the country, right? You got to give credit where credit is due. But I still do feel like we need some sort of fresh blood.
They call Cheddar the settings man.
You know what I mean? I feel like we need some fresh blood. Just like this is the reason why Traore. I mean, he's Traore, right?
Yeah.
He's so popular because he's kind of doing radical stuff that the old guys are not doing, and it kind of reflects a bit on Cheddar because Cheddar also had the same kind of like mentality and mindset,
An
just
African.
radical change. It's like there is no other way to put it than radical change. You know, because we also had that video, I think yesterday, there was this guy who was saying Africa is not poor, right?
Never.
Africa is rich. It's the people that are poor. And that really hit home because it really makes you think. It's really, really true.
Yeah.
But that expropriation of the third world has been going on for 400 years, brings us to another revelation, namely that the third world is not poor. You don't go to poor countries to make money. There are very few poor countries in this world. Most countries are rich. The Philippines are rich. Brazil is rich. Mexico is rich. Chile is rich. Only the people are poor. But there's billions to be made there, to be carved out and to be taken. There's been billions for 400 years. The capitalist European and North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the flax, the hemp, the cocoa, the rum, the tin, the copper, the iron, the rubber, the bauxite, the slaves, and the cheap labor. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped, they're overexploited.
And he said the same thing about people saying Africa is underdeveloped. It's like, it's not underdeveloped, it's overexploited.
Yeah.
True.
But then it still goes back to who is allowing that kind of exploitation to happen. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you look at it, it still goes back to leadership.
It's the pyramid, right?
And without a like radical, like, leader, right? We're not talking about, maniacal, insane, military, like, gangster kind of like rule. But you have to be tough. You have to set the rules. You have to make sure you're leveraging the resources the country has. It's not just running to IMF all the time to kind of like get loans. So these are all the kind of stuff when you look at it, makes you feel like,
Sympathy does not get you.
Hope keeps fading. Yeah, you keep kind of like, holding on to faith. But I guess to a point, you're like, it gets dimmer and dimmer all the
Sympathy
time. So.
would never get you developed.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the wisest man. Bars. Exactly. All right, amigos. All right, we're going to leave it at this for now.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll be back with the next one. So DLS out.
Peace.